What's good, y'all? 931ZAK, the Sam Sylk Show. He's in the building. He's checking in. Q Parker, what's up, man?
What's going on, my family?
How you feeling, man?
I am well. How about you?
I am great. I'm great. When that single dropped, I was like, he done brought the old school back.
Hey, man.
I said, Q over here, he begging for real. Like I felt like your ass was in there really begging. Like that he just what just happened?
Yeah,
Ain't
man.
nothing wrong with that. Ain't nothing wrong with a little begging.
Listen, a little begging ain't hurt nobody.
At all. Yes, sir, man. So big ups, bruh.
I appreciate it, man.
Yeah.
I appreciate that.
Yeah, and so I was talking to Kenya earlier, and what I did not know was about the calendar, and you doing fitness, and you doing the whole nine, giving the tips, and
Yeah, man.
you know, on a solo career, doing it real big.
Well, you know, I always go back to day one of entering into this game as a male R&B singer. There were certain components that you had to have in your bag. Obviously, the talent, but you wanted to make sure that you were aesthetically pleasing as a male R&B guy. And so I'm just a huge advocate about not only making great records, but also making sure I'm presenting myself in a way that A, doesn't spoil the fantasy, B, but it keeps me aligned with what I signed up for back in '94 when we signed the record deal.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So he wanted to make sure he didn't do the Bobby Brown tired, take a break.
Listen, ladies.
Bobby, you know I'm messing with you though.
He's still looking good. He's still looking good. He got this calendar with
I
the
appreciate
tattoos,
that.
so you might have to put this calendar at your workstation.
Yes,
somewhere.
I want you to. Yeah, that's what I want you to do.
Yes.
So how long have you been doing the calendars and the wellness tips and all that?
So the calendar, I've been doing those for, this is the 10th edition of the calendar. I started in 2011. Obviously, there are some years that I didn't do them, but since 2011, I've been doing the fitness calendars. And it's just really, man, I'm really big on community, and I try to lead by example. A lot of my peers can make better choices, and so I'm always just trying to be of assistance, just kind of be an example, not really judging or anything like that, but you know, I want us to be able to live. I want us to be able to live a healthy life, and especially as we're getting up in age. I'll be 50 next year.
Don't
so
say that.
I
You
want to
said
just
damn
make sure.
time flies.
Ain't a wrinkle, ain't nothing.
Time flies.
Yeah, man.
Yeah.
Big
I'm about to look at
50.
these
Big
fitness tips
50,
in
man.
here.
So, and I have said to myself that I'm going to see a healthy 90 plus.
Yeah.
And I'm talking about agile, mobile, with my right mind, driving, and all those things. And the way that I'll get there is by making the right choices nowadays.
Yeah.
And it seems like you good on fashion, so you got to keep the template together.
I
right?
appreciate that. Yes, ma'am.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
So how are you enjoying the solo part of your career right now? How are you enjoying
I
that?
enjoy it, man.
Yeah.
I enjoy it because, you know, I get to give the world 100% of Q Parker. When you are in a group so talented as 112, you know, you only have to master 25% because everybody does their equal 25%, which gives the 100%. And then but however, if you go into the 26%, now you're stepping into the lane of your brother.
Okay.
And we don't want to do
You
that.
don't
But
wanna
what
do that,
happens is you master your 25%, but then you have years of 75% that's just unattended to, just sitting over there collecting dust. And so as a solo artist, now I can reach back and grab all those years of 75%. So now I can give you all 100%. And it's really exciting. When you see me, yes, you see me as Q Parker, but 112 trained me. 112.
Well, you're a founding member.
So
Listen.
when you
So,
see
like-
me, you can't help but still see
Right,
112
right.
because
That's
I'm
right.
gonna always represent my group as well as myself.
Right.
Yeah.
Now, how did you all? Well, I'm pretty sure you did. How did you hold it in for so long? And did y'all ever had it? Hold on, not yet. You know, not yet. You can't do solo yet. Hold on.
Yeah.
You know, a lot of groups break up over that.
Yeah, I think, man, because we came out of the gate with just so much success, and you know, we had a mandate in 112. You had to be able to stand on your own. We weren't gonna have any members that are just kind of enjoying the ride. Everybody equally contributed: songwriting, production, lead vocals, background vocals, all of that. But then we got to a point. I think it was after the third album where we had achieved so much success. The first 3 albums were double platinum, all of touring all over the world, and we gave ourselves the room to explore individuality. So
like
it wasn't
that.
like
Yeah.
somebody just said, "Well, I'm just ready to go do this." No, it was a point in time where we sat down, had a conversation, and we said, "Hey, now is the time for us to go and explore individuality." Slim was first, and he had such huge success
Yeah, he
with
did. Yeah.
So Fly,
Mhm.
and then Duran and I doing separate production and songwriting, and then in 2012, I decided to do my first Q Parker solo record. It's called The Manual. I partnered with Malico Records down in Jackson, Mississippi. Big shout out to Tommy Couch and the whole team. And yeah, man, the Q Parker solo movement just kind of started then. And so here we are now, 12 years later, and we're on the second installment of this Q Parker.
Yeah.
Now, with such success, with 112 at the beginning, like you said, multi platinum success, how did that feel? Like, what was running through your mind when you said, okay, I got to put pen to paper and do this solo?
Yeah. I mean, going from the group to individual, there was some trepidation, there were nerves, because since middle school, when I look to my right and left,
Yeah, you
I
had
see
your
Slim, Mike,
boys
and
right
Duran.
there.
I see
Right,
them.
right, right.
And that it became somewhat of a crutch because I only had to do my part.
Yeah.
Well, now when I'm by myself, I have to sing the whole song. I have to be I have to do all the parts.
You gotta do all the moves.
Right.
I gotta do all the moves, like, and it's a lift that can be uncomfortable initially, but again, the way we were trained and the way that we were artists developed, I just had to tap into all of those years of training
Yeah.
and just allow myself to be free in the Q Parker space.
Yeah, and which we don't see a lot. I've heard from a lot of artists, they don't have the development
Yeah,
that they once had then.
man.
I'm glad to see you in the studio.
Yeah,
Right.
Yeah.
At one point, you had artists pretty much almost every other day on your show.
Facts.
You know, I
Yeah.
keep it 1,000.
Yeah.
Now we just gonna do we'll do Zoom.
yeah. See, I'm a product of the way that I was raised.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
So it's interesting when my partners, Paramount Collective Ventures, when we got together, we had our initial conversation. I said, I want to do a hybrid approach. You know,
Mhm.
I don't want to be the artist that just says on a random Friday, go get the full EP. I want to really enjoy this process of actually working a record.
Yeah.
And what does that look
We
like?
love
here?
that.
Yeah.
I want to get on the road, like gas up the pacer,
Yes.
and just go from city to city, going into the studios, because some of you haven't seen me in years.
Yeah.
And what's the best way to get acquainted again than a physical in-person interaction? I can't expect for you to just automatically add my record or show me support just because I sent an email saying, hey, play my new record.
Right,
Nah,
right,
I want
right.
to come in, rub elbows with you, have a conversation with you.
See the fans.
Absolutely.
Feel the
Love
city.
that.
Yeah,
Get the
man.
vibe, the culture. Yeah.
All of that.
Yeah.
And I mean, that's how I was raised in this game. And so it ain't broke. It still works. And so
Yeah.
I just say to a lot of artists, man, get back on the road, man. Come inside the radio stations. Shake the PD's hand. Like,
Yeah.
be personable.
But
Yeah.
they weren't introduced to that. Do you ever tell them, give advice, or do you wait for somebody to kind of ask?
Yeah. Yeah.
I
You're-
mean,
yeah.
I'm a walking piece of information, and as much as I can give the information and I can educate peers or the next generation, I'm trying to do that. Like, you just cannot compensate for the power of the relationship.
Yeah.
It is so, I don't care how much budget you have,
Mhm.
none of that matters if your relationships aren't intact. And
That's
and
true.
I'm out here collecting information. I'm getting the numbers, because even when I'm not in Cleveland, you may just get a random text from me on a Thursday. Hey, yo, what's up, man? Just sending
Yeah.
you some love. Hope you're well.
Yeah.
I'll see you on the next go round.
Yeah.
I love
And
that.
those little intangible things,
Yeah.
man, like, it shows itself.
Yeah.
It shows itself.
I mean, I can honestly say from years of hosting shows,
Yeah.
dealing with artists. I think the first time I met you was in Chicago.
Mhm.
Me and Dr. Love was hosting. We was hosting a couple of gigs, and we go from here to Cleveland and different places. Sometimes people, and it's okay to change. You all change, but still that, humble but straight firm.
Yeah.
And still a star.
Yeah.
I've never seen that change.
Wow.
You know what I'm saying?
Well, I appreciate those words because my mama raised me right. My mom and dad raised me right. But I'm just a lover of people,
Mm-hmm.
and I don't understand how, if I need you to help me be successful, how can I not be kind? How can I
Say that again.
be gentle,
Yeah.
approachable? I want to make sure every experience you have with me as an artist is a memorable one, because I still need you to buy a concert ticket.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
need you to go on my website to buy some merch. You know,
Yeah.
I need you to go download my song. I need you to like my posts.
Yeah.
So, what's the best way that I can potentially get you to do that? Well, every encounter, make it a pleasurable one.
Yeah.
And speaking of posts, I mean, social media, was it like as heavy in the game as it is right now? Because
Man,
before you had somebody probably taking care of some things, but
Yeah.
now that imaging is
Man.
ongoing.
you
All
know,
the time.
as a seasoned artist, man, we sometimes fight the trends.
Yeah.
And I'm included in that
Uh-huh.
because initially I wasn't really up on
You,
TikTok.
you got to
and-
do the talk. You got to do the
But,
book.
man,
You got to
all
do the
of it.
gram. You got to
yeah,
do
and,
YouTube.
and it's a job, bruh. to like listen to post to start it on IG, then go to Facebook, then over to Twitter, then
And
to
Threads.
YouTube, Threads,
Ah,
then TikTok,
Yeah.
then YouTube. Like, man, it's a. But I'm glad that my team pushed me to commit to engaging that way, because it's the way that fans engage now. And so if I didn't add that to just our movement, I would miss out on some of that
So
interaction.
much,
And
yeah.
I'm the type of guy still. I can't get to every comment,
Mhm.
but I go in there and I will say thank you.
Yeah.
I appreciate those words. You know,
Yeah.
I will harden and I follow people when they follow me. So
Yeah.
yeah.
I love that.
Yeah, that's what's up.
Okay.
Yeah. Keep on loving.
Keep
New
on loving.
single, man.
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Man, sampled an amazing record, an already classic, and has been a classic for years. The Deals, Two Occasions. We sampled that record, and I like to think that we did it some good justice.
Yeah.
I believe that when you sample or do a remake, if you ain't gonna do it justice, leave it alone.
Leave it alone.
Oh, that's
just
right.
just don't
Yeah.
touch it.
Right.
And myself, Rico Love, Ghost the Kid, we listened to it a few times before we let it go, just to make sure we had just added to the legacy
Yeah.
of the Deals, Two Occasion. And so
Yeah.
it's been received well in the initial stages of it, and we're just gonna keep building.
When do you know you have that hit song?
Yes.
You write so many.
Yeah.
You get so many, thoughts and lyrics and hooks and things that come to you. I'm pretty sure every day. When did you like, this is the one?
The feel.
The feel of it.
The feel of it. And what I mean by the feel, it's like the culmination of it all. What does it all feel like? You can listen to something and say, man, the beat is right,
Mm-hmm.
but I don't like what they were saying.
Okay.
Or I love the message, but the beat wasn't right.
Yeah.
Or the tempo, I wish this was an up tempo. So we add all of those elements and put it in your car and just kind of ride to it for a few days.
Ride and
Or
vibe.
Just
Yeah.
ride and vibe, and you'll know.
You know.
When it's ready, you know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, that's what's up, bruh.
Yeah.
What's coming up with the tour?
Man, so right now we're on the promo tour, just promoting Keep On Loving. It just came out last Friday, and so we're beating the streets, man, up and down the highways, just going into buildings, shaking hands, kissing babies. But also there's some performance opportunities. I don't have an official tour just yet. We're working on a few of them, but have some spot
Oh, it's
dates.
there with this here.
Yeah.
With these songs. It's there.
Yeah, man, it's
Yeah,
coming.
absolutely.
It's coming. It's coming.
Yeah,
It's coming.
yeah.
But a lot of spot dates, one-offs are on the calendar. So just stay locked in with me, man. Q
Yeah.
Parker, it's qparker.com for all of the touring and engagement where I'm popping up. And then my socials is at qparker112. Yeah, man.
Yeah. Hey, man, thanks for stopping by, man.
I appreciate y'all opening your doors for me.
Anytime, y'all. Q Parker, y'all.
Yes, sir.